Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. This week's movie is going to be The Terminator from 1984, the year of our Lord. According to Wikipedia, that's the year all the good movies came out. Fellas, what do you think?
Just the year of our Lord. All right. I like it. I love this movie. It's dated for sure. It's almost like if you went back and watched Jurassic Park. Is it still amazing?
Nope.
Yes. Can you still see some things where you go, but it's a product of the time.
Nope. Gonna disagree with you there. I have rewatched Jurassic Park a couple times recently, and it looks really good. There's some points in this where it looks really bad. And I don't know if you guys know this. Of course you know this. I don't know if the audience knows this. This was my first time seeing this movie.
Oh.
Ooh. Well, see, I am going to be the little bit of glue that holds it together because I think it's fantastic, but I also got a little cringe just popping up in the movie. I was like, ooh, damn, James Cameron. Go you ugly fuck.
For me, the cringe came from Sarah Connor, and I only cringed once. And I don't really think it's, her fault. It was just the line when she's trying to motivate Corporal Hicks to get up. And she's like, "On your feet, soldier."
Yeah.
Move it.
Then again, that's not a bad complaint because, like, her roommate or whatever, Ginger, like, every line that spilled out of her face, I was just like, oh.
One thing I will say is, man, this movie is real fucking 80s, isn't it?
It's like if the 80s did a timepiece on the 80s.
Yeah, like this is true, authentic 80s. This isn't like Stranger Things trying to like replicate and romanticize that. This is like real core dirty 80s.
Dirty, that's a great word. Yeah, no neon. It's just grungy and just, I don't know. I feel like if I'd get an STD no matter what I touched.
Yes. Unfortunately, the people who didn't get STs would be the Terminator because he runs his fist through a man and he's fine.
Yeah, he rammed it right through his stomach and ripped out his goddamn spine.
But before we get back to the present day, this movie actually starts out in the far, far off year in the future of 2029.
It's very true. In about 7 years of this recording, the world will fall apart and will be governed by a race of sentient machines. That sounds fantastic.
And in this new world, Los Angeles is even more of a wasteland than it already is.
I would have laughed really hard if after the panning up from the skulls to the machines, LA, it just looks identically the same. Like nothing fucking changed.
Well, here's the thing. It's 2029. That's, again, 7 years from now. I can see the world being a total wasteland in 7 years. The only difference is I don't really see it being machines because I don't see us getting the infrastructure for proper construction of these machines.
That's
well,
fair,
the thing is, we don't need to build that infrastructure. Once the machines get sentient and smart enough, they'll build it themselves.
I don't know. Ever since I saw that picture of Roomba with a gun, I've been pretty perplexed.
Can we just vote them in? Make America great again? We're going to bring back jobs to the Northeast.
Yeah, vote for Coffee Grinder for president.
Senator Cuisinart, what's your thoughts on whatever?
Coffee noises.
Percolate.
Yeah, it's in 4 more years. I got you.
Yeah, I've got a vacuum over here with a lot of like foreign relations experience. I bet they do great as Secretary of State.
Excuse me, Mr. Dyson, your competitor says you suck.
That's right, I do.
Oh.
Whoa.
Well, robotic politics aside, the future in this movie looks pretty good. Okay. I mean, like, give like the models a little bit of shit and like the rear projection, but like, the effort. I love the effort. I don't know what it is. It's charming.
It's like this forced perspective of like human beings at war crawling away from someone's Warhammer set.
No,
that's what I got from this.
It's 100% the 90s cartoon commercials. Like whenever Batman would be battling Mr. Freeze and they'd have the playset and it'd say playset not included. And you can't actually buy the playset, but it's there to highlight the toy. It's that.
Oh, so they had to use the set for the movie and the commercial for that little plastic Terminator you can put skin on with the rubber stuff.
Yes, I wanted him.
Honestly, the word that I wrote down the most during all these scenes is aggro crag.
Oh.
It's not that bad. Come on.
Arnold's going to come away with a piece of it.
The Radical
He's got
Rock.
the guts.
Oh, but
Oh.
we see a little bit later that he does not have it.
Okay. Roasting aside, there's some good ideas. Like the Field of Skulls. You got like the tank tread Terminators, like a couple stories tall. And you got the HKs flying around like crazy, even though it looks like it's on like a slot track. Fine, whatever. It's a good idea.
No, the visuals are compelling. Like as you watch the skulls get crushed beneath the treads, as you see the one skeleton step on the head and then turn, and then you got Kyle Reese rolling around the dirt. You gotta get out of here. It's cool fucking looking. It's just a little dated.
Well, the movie Here's Your Please, because zap, we go to the past of 1984.
Yep, we're back in Los Angeles, and Arnie is naked.
Telling me we can see Arnie's hammer?
Oh, something's swinging, bro. When he's walking up, I'm just saying, it's like coming.
Well, hell, in the reverse shot, we get a nice sweet shot of those cinnamon buns.
All right, let's do it. What I've got here today is from Boulevard Brewing Company. This is their Cinnamon Bun Ale. It is a 9.5% alcohol by volume. I believe this is a brown ale flavored with cinnamon bun stuff.
Yes.
I don't know what's actually in here, but it smells like cinnamon buns. Like, the aroma is straight up like you're walking past like a Cinnabon. Lots of like cinnamon, vanilla, just super, super sweet. The flavor is very much the same, just indulgently sweet, just overwhelmingly sweet. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. This has got to be a dessert beer. Like, you wouldn't just drink this just to drink it. This is a dessert beer. It's good, but I definitely probably only have just one. There's a lot of that like vanilla, sugar, cinnamon flavor. Perfect to pair with those buns that Arnie's flashing here in the opening scene.
They are some lovely, lovely buns. We get overly swole Mr. fucking Galaxy strolling up, and we're graced with the guy from Cobra, Bill Paxton, and a third man who, So we get Hudson and Hicks in this movie, as well as Bishop.
Very true, very true. But unfortunately, we don't get to see the guy whose ass looks like a 12-year-old boy or anything because he gets fucking murdered. Bill Paxton is just immediately dispatched.
Yeah, like I saw him in this and I was like, oh, cool. I didn't know Bill Paxton was in this. And then I'm like, oh, Bill Paxton was in this.
It's so quick. Like, that one guy gets like punched through the belly. We already made that joke. But Bill Paxton, yeah, like Bill Paxton was just like tossed aside, just like discarded. He was just like, "Yep, I'm dead."
We're graced with a line here, "Fuck you, asshole," that Arnold will recycle later.
Oh yeah,
list of NPC responses.
That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly what he turns into. Like, he doesn't have this like actual vocabulary, stock in him. So he just has to reuse other things that he's heard. So he just has to scroll through his little list of things. No lollygagging.
No lollygagging.
That's really good. It's just like that's the connection between Terminator and Kindergarten Cop.
Oh shit! This overly muscular naked man going down the street, and there's like a crossing guard. Go on now. His fucking dick is just whipping back and forth. And she's like, no lollygagging. Keep it moving. It's like, no lollygagging. Give me your boat, your clues, and your motorcycle. Your dick's out, bro. Punch in the gut.
He's like, what is that? Uzi 9mm.
I do wish one of the lines that he learned for this was, your dick's out, bro.
That's all. Dude, he is 100% for Harambe.
But shortly after Arnie touches down, we get another crash of lightning, and another Raiden dude flies down from the sky. And this is the guy from earlier, the Kyle, what's his name? Reese?
Yeah, exactly. Right. That is Johnny Ringo, Michael Biehn.
Our good friend Hicks. And when he arrives, he's got one thing on his mind. It's scar tissue that he wished you saw. He's covered in it.
I thought the first thing he thought was just like, man, I'm just going to put on this disgusting pair of pants.
I mean, would you rather walk around 1984 LA wearing no pants or wearing dirty pants?
This isn't fucking Dr. Seuss. Could you wear a homeless man's pants? It's disgusting. He wound up in a store anyways.
I mean, cops roll up. What are they going to do? They're going to say, hey, stop. person wearing pants or hey, stop person wearing no pants. They're going to stop the guy who's hanging dong, like in the alley, you know?
I was gonna say it's the 80s, baby, but this isn't Miami. It's just
Mm.
fucking greasy LA.
Sorry, 80s in LA. They're going to stop whoever's in that alley regardless.
Think about this, though, gentlemen. He's putting on dirty homeless man pants. He then goes to war over the course of, 2 days?
Yep.
With an unstoppable cyborg creature. He's bloody. He's sweaty. He's covered in homeless man skank.
Yep.
And he still gets laid.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, he did have a hell of a sob story, so.
I've been in love with you since I saw your picture. Ugh.
But yeah, like, he totally gets the dick into the stick, because, like, Arnold gets a really super cool, super smooth intro into the movie. He's like, I'm here. I'm gonna be governor. And then, like, Michael Biehn gets, like, flash fried, story in the air, falls into the alleyway, shatters his entire left arm, butt naked in the middle of nowhere.
And he just kind of looks greasy, too.
Yeah, he shows up already on the back end. He's done when he gets there. He's like, fuck. And then he has to get homeless man pants, run inside the Salvation Army where he gets some LA gears. And at that point, he does the same thing the Terminator does and gets in the phone book. And he's like, I gotta find the Akana.
But not before just, like, yoinking a shotgun from a police cruiser. Like, I know a lot of things were different back then, like door locks, but he just, like, I don't know, it was so casual.
Yep, he's got the homeless guy's pants. He's got this shotgun. Now he is truly a hobo with a shotgun.
Oh
my God.
Rip in
Yes.
peace.
Now, this chase scene, to me, is a lot of fun because it's so preposterous. The cops are like, get back here! And they're chasing it into the department store or whatever it is. And he's just like, beep, 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 picking up little pieces of clothes as they haphazardly, just completely ineffectually search for him. And I think that it's just so cute. I don't know why. It's like you end up smiling when he runs away barefoot and you hear his little feet like John McClane, pat, 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 pat.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone run up an escalator so silently.
Dude, that dude was so swift. And it was really funny, like, when he had the extra second to see if the shoes were his size. Like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, sweet. All right.
Yeah,
yes.
Cut away to our other main character. We got Linda Hamilton riding a Vespa, just cruising around 80s style.
100%. Like, everything about her, just teased hair, super bright Vespa, Disney oversized shirt. It's just like, wow, this is like a time capsule.
Rolling up into that big boy.
Dude, I fucking pity her. Like, I know that she goes on to be the future of the Resistance. But man, she's just trying to take these people's fucking order, and the kid's putting ice cream in her pocket.
Dude,
like,
my God.
You feel that. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck.
Ever since I first saw this movie a million years ago, it always pained me when that stupid kid just plopped that chocolate ice cream in her pocket. I just want to punch him in the back of the head so hard.
Here at Beards and Brews, we do not advocate for violence against children, except that one.
I don't know. Maybe violence also against the erection kung fu kid from Smoking Aces.
Mildly related.
So we got Punk Rock Arnold, and he's punk rock, and he's still in car doing all these things. And Sarah Connor's at work doing her shtick of just feeling bad for herself because dead-end job and whatnot. But in the meantime, Arnold's getting gear, and this scene is fucking classic. He walks into a gun store, and guess who's working behind the counter? The fucking dude from Gremlins.
Yeah, Dick Miller. He's the best. Because, like, he's like one of those secondary actors that just, like, liven up whatever scene he's in. Like, he is that gun dealer. He's like the Mo Sizlak of this gun shop.
Mm-hmm.
There's another guy like this a little bit later. I don't know what I know him from, but I want to watch everything that he's in. We'll get to it, but there's a guy that I can do nothing but appreciate a little bit later.
Now, Arnold's pointing at the guns, and he's saying, give me that big fucking gun. Give me that big fucking gun. You have a gun with a laser thingy on it because it looks cool. And the guy's like, you fucking know it. And so Arnold starts loading up the gun in front of him. And this is, okay, I want to just discuss that Arnold Schwarzenegger has a career of like 10 lines, and this is one of them. The guy's like, hey, you can't do that. And he replies back, wrong. And fucking shoots him. Just like in Commando. Whenever the guy's like, hey, everybody wants to negotiate, right? Wrong. Bam.
There's like a little tidbit if you notice when Arnold's rattling off all those guns. He's like Uzi 9mm, spaz shotgun. The last one he asked for is like some super plasma rifle from the future because he himself is for the future. And Dick Miller's like, nah, what you see is what you get. Completely
Yes.
just over his head.
It's almost like a Paul Reiser moment. It is what it is.
See, the part of this little, not scene, but this little series of scenes from Arnie that I like is when he has to find out Sarah Connor. So he goes to this phone book, rips fucking Hillbilly Jim straight out of a phone booth just to get to this phone book.
Chandler, I literally have Hillbilly Jim gets tossed aside.
Hell yeah.
He wasn't using it.
He was so polite about it, though. He's like, some people, I swear. It's just like, fuck, dude. Like, you're 6'4", and Arnold just threw you out of a phone booth, and your entire response is, now stop lollygagging.
He knows when
Oh,
he knows when he's been beaten.
Oh, true. I know a better man when I seen it.
So next up is Sarah Connor's house.
Well, a Sarah Connor's house. This is like Sarah Connor Uno.
Yeah, so he rolls up there and is like, "Hey, are you Sarah Connor?"
And then the dumb bitch was just like, absolutely.
Yeah, that's me. And then he just fucking mows her down.
Okay.
No questions asked.
Step one. When a Sarah Connor, but not the Sarah Connor, is killed, this whole scene is so, again, preposterous. Someone knocks on your door. You open it. There's the little chain lock, whatever. You peer outside, even through the peephole, maybe. And you see a 6'4", sweaty punk rock dude holding a fucking shotgun. And he goes, "Hello, I am searching for you in particular. Are you? Yeah, me." Bam! You got what you deserve.
Maybe they're like an older couple who are just like really friendly to the neighborhood degenerates. There's like, oh, what does Billy want?
He's gonna spray paint that fucking hard R on the house again.
But yeah, like this is the point in the movie where it's like, oh, this isn't like your fun science fiction movie. This is a fucking horror. This is like a slasher movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it treads that line a little bit. It does.
My thing is, you say it's like a slasher movie. It really has that vibe, except for there's a really good plot going on. There's future shit. There's when the cops get involved, that's super interesting as well. But Schwarzenegger's just walking around as this unstoppable killing machine, a la Jason Voorhees, a la Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, all those kinds of guys. But he's got a reason. He's a fucking robot man. Like, it's not just, I can't believe that. This is from the future. We can't say that won't happen. In 7 years, Elon Musk is going to put stuff inside of our heads that lets us just answer phones and whatnot. We're going to get hacked. We're going to have ads popping up in front of our eyes. So what's strange about a robot man coming back from the future? Nothing to me.
Meanwhile, the other guy, the actual human, is sitting over there having like PTSD flashbacks over seeing a bulldozer.
Dude. Leave him alone. He's having a hard time. Like, I don't even know why he chose to park there. Like, at first I thought that was the only place he was comfortable, just by heavy machinery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that makes sense.
That's his white noise. Just the sound of heavy construction work and people screaming is the only way he can sleep during his fucking Robo-Nom flashback.
Well, I mean, it's just him being courteous to the neighborhood. He's like, oh, I look like a piece of shit. I'm going to go over here.
I'll go put myself where shit goes. I'm in the toilet.
But the next thing you know, hey, there's Lance Henriksen.
Yes, my boy Ed Hiley from Pumpkinhead. And he's on Police Squad.
He really is, and he seems like the kind of guy who's been working there for, 20 years, and he really, really loves his job.
Okay, so am I wrong here, or did all 80s action movie cops live on coffee, punches, smokes, heart pills, booze, and excessive violence?
No, that's about it,
Okay.
God, I got to get me some heart pills.
Like, aside from, like, Steven Seagal's little, like, macaroni bracelet, yeah, that's all you need.
And it's always like coffee out of one of those teeny tiny little like styrofoam cups.
Yes. Dude, well, Lance Henriksen was, like, really candid about it. He's like, that coffee's 2 hours old. He's like, yeah, I put a cigarette out in it. Yeah.
Gets the job done.
I just like it. I like the whole police station stuff. Like, everybody is just haggard, but that's their job.
Yes.
They become like brothers almost. That one dude, I don't know, Sergeant Hibbard, was like, give me a cigarette. And then, like, he realized he already has like a cigarette in his hand.
And he's got the gum that he's chewing to keep him from smoking 2 cigarettes at once.
Yeah. Then he had to like go on TV. He's like, how do I look? He's like shit.
Yeah.
Like, your mama.
Yes, yo mama. It's so mwah. It's so cute. And I like that Lance Henriksen in this role is supposed to be the comic relief, But
Yeah.
where he's so dry and almost off-putting that as he tells the jokes, it's the other guy's job just to shut him down. So he becomes the guy from Boondock Saints that's always like, this is my hunch, but he's so far wrong. So everyone just kind of shits on him.
19s are going to be like, hey, remember that time I shot 17 fellas in the gonads? And he's just like, shut up. Just stop.
Yes.
All right. It's a long night. We've been away for 27 hours.
Yeah,
I've
but
heard enough of these fucking stories.
but the reason that we're focusing in on the cops now is because this is like a thing. We've got 2 dead girls, both murdered in cold blood, and both of their names are Sarah Connor. Neither one of them are the one that is actually, involved in this movie, but, that's a coincidence, isn't it?
Well, they do run the options. They're just like, does this mean something? And they're just like, oh.
Well, they're trying to get in contact with Sarah Connor, but she's not answering the phone because she's out to go to a party where she's being stalked by Hicks. Meanwhile, her buddy is at home feeding her giant lizard and getting banged while listening to the headphones.
Yeah, this is
Some sweet
80s
tunes.
as hell. Just super 80s as hell. I love it.
Just that little moment when she's just kind of like prancing about the house with her Walkman making a sandwich.
Oh, that little post-coital snack.
Yeah. I just feel like that whole house smelled like hairspray.
Oh, Aquanet.
Aquanet and
Absolutely. Yes. It's the blue can, extra strength.
But again, your point, Eric, of this being the slasher, Arnold Schwarzenegger walks in and begins to try to murder the boyfriend of not Sarah Connor. He's punching like where his head was, and the fucking pillow explodes. And the dude literally says, "You don't want none of this," and hits him in the face with a lamp.
Dude, I'll give him some credit because he just had the balls to tell Mr. Universe, you don't want none of this.
Yeah. You don't want none of what I got. I'm all hopped up on fuck.
This guy came down from the sky like Raiden, and he looks like Lou Ferrigno, but no, you're the threat.
Yes.
Yeah.
He killed a man early in the movie, but just by punching through him. For some reason, the Terminator decides to beat the man inside this room with the room.
Yes. This guy is actually putting up a fight. If Michael Biehn, Mr. Hicks, had fought him with this type of ferocity at the end of the film, things would be different.
I guess Michael Biehn didn't have any of what that guy had.
He wasn't hopped up. Oh, man, he should have been hopped up on fuck.
Oh, maybe that bullet in the chest probably like took some wind out of it.
Oh, yeah. Literally, his lung is like...
Yeah.
But meanwhile, the real Sarah Connor is out getting stalked by Homeboy, and she's like, you know what I really need? I really need to just dance. I want to go dance.
Dude, she gets all afraid because, she sees on the news like the second Sarah Connor got flattened or whatever. And she fucking calls the apartment. And of course, Arnold has already done his business. And Arnold has the look on his face like, oh my God, I'm a monster. This wasn't Sarah at all.
Yes. He's like, I killed Sarah, right? Wrong.
The fuck out of here.
And she's like, oh man, I'm so afraid somebody's following me. So I'm going to give you all my information. I really hope nobody else in the room is hearing everything.
Right. I'm at this club on 94th and 2nd.
I got here 3 minutes ago and intend to stay for 26 more.
Well, the fucking T800 is fast as fuck, or the T101, because she hangs up and he's at the door.
Yes. Me and Noah hasn't seen the first Terminator, so this was his first time seeing it.
Oh,
and he's into it. He's super loving this movie. And Arnold hears this message, and it cuts to her hanging up the goddamn phone. And she's sitting there just waiting for, I guess, whoever to show up. And it's literally 1,000, 1,000. And Arnold is walking in the fucking door.
I half expected him just to walk through that first little fence barrier. Like, just not even talk to the lady and just like break through.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kyle Reese is there too, and he's like, "Hey, I noticed you across the bar."
He is staring extra hard. Like,
yeah.
Before then, he was kind of like that guy who might be following you kind of feeling. But no, this guy is following you.
Okay, you guys want to know a secret? All right, I'm gonna let you guys in on something. I kind of thought that Arnie, that the Terminator, for whatever reason, was like the good guy in this series.
Oh, Chandler experienced the first untwist.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't until like right about now, honestly, when I realized that Arnie was actually the bad guy.
Wait a minute.
I mean, he was killing people. No, I mean, I just thought that there was some reason that he was coming to get Sarah Connor. Maybe he was just coming to like
for the greater good.
take her back to the future or something. I don't know.
That's actually wildly
Yeah, I like
unique. I've never heard of that before.
It's just, Arnie's the face of the franchise. I never
True.
thought that.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, along with all the slashers, you've got the bad guy being the face of the franchise there, so it goes along with it. But I just thought that this was like some sci-fi action flick where the face of the franchise was the protagonist. I was wrong.
Okay, free idea to Hollyweird. Make a Friday the 13th movie where as soon as Jason rolls up to these women having sex and about to kill him, he just rips off his mask like, come with me if you want to live.
Oh,
That's another
no.
thing. I definitely thought that Arnie was who said that. I don't know why.
Yeah, the missus had the same thing. 'Cause she was wondering this entire movie, like, where's John Connor? Wasn't the last one about him?
You were saying that Jason rolls up on the teens about to have sex and he rips off his mask and then it just turns into a porn flick. He's like, come with me if you want to live.
Oh no, live with me if you want to come.
And then he gets down on one knee and proposes.
And yet he still has time to put a dagger through Kevin Bacon's throat because, I mean, that's what the protagonist would do anyway, right?
Yes.
This is
Heroes
the
be
greatest
killing.
crossover.
Yeah.
Now, this scene, though, I excuse any fault of him arriving instantly because just the cinematography and the setup of the moment of the Terminator walking in, the bouncer grabbing him by the collar, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T grabs his hand and just goes wham and crunches it, and this gigantic bodyguard just crumbles to the ground.
Very Steven Seagal-y.
Yes. And after he rumbles to the ground, Sarah Connor, I guess, drops her lipstick. I don't remember what she dropped, to be honest with you. She dropped something.
It's chapstick.
Chaps.
That damn Mothman.
Good thing it happened. It falls to the ground, and she dips down to get it. And then, in just that exact perfect moment, the crowd parts, and there's Arnold. And he's scanning left to right, trying to find her. And just because she's looking down, it buys her a little bit of time. It's fucking awesome.
This the tech noir shootout scene is a masterclass in suspense. Like, give whatever credit or take it whatever you want from like the visual effects at the beginning and the end of the movie. This scene is just flawless. Like, the sound design complements it so well as well, because you have Michael Biehn kind of like escalating the situation without Sarah even knowing. Like, she has no idea she has a shotgun ready just to try like part the ways to save her life. It just explodes in this wonderful fucking moment of just like exasperation.
I'll tell you, I never really noticed sound design, but I noticed it in this. The combination of like the sound design and the score, which it's not super prominent, but when it's there, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, this is solid. Combination of those two things.
I really love a scene where there's music in the background, especially like a good techno song or something like that, some synth. But there's a reason. It's not just there for the set piece. It's there for a reason. So like this scene has that bumping ass tech noir music playing in the background, and there's gunfire and screaming, and it oddly accentuates everything that's happening. And you go, man, this is fucking cool. And it's just like the scene in John Wick whenever he goes into the bathhouse and that song is playing and he's like killing everybody. That's a fucking amazing scene. And I can see a lot of parallels there.
It's fantastic, and they even mirror this moment in the second one, spoilers, in the mall when he falls out the window. But by itself, it's just one of those things where, to me, it's just iconic. So simple, great use of music, great use of space. Because, like, Sarah Connor seems so small, and she's actually ready to accept her fate. She has absolutely no clue that's about to just be broken apart by lead being thrown across the room.
Yeah, there is a firefight. Another Boondock Saints for you there, Chan.
Meanwhile, we get a bit of an exposition dump because of Kyle Reese. He lets Sarah Connor in on the story of, everything that's going on. And I gotta say, I'd have a hard time believing him given, life and everything.
I mean, I think it's a genius way just to fart out all this exposition. So, sitting down and being bored off my ass.
Yeah, the way he does it, too, is so desperate. He's looking at her. He's like, come with me if you want to live. And that's an iconic line because it's literally, I can't force you to get up and run because we're both going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. They jump in the car. Arnold's punching through the windshield. It's a fucking cool scene. And then he just looks at her and goes, this is fucking nuts. But that's a goddamn robot, and he's trying to kill you because you're important. And she's like, say, what?
That bit where he's on top of the car and he's smoking because he was on fire just for a moment.
Yes.
I remember like forever ago, some behind the scenes thing or something. It was like a conversation with Jim Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold was so hilarious. He's like, that fucking scene. They couldn't light me on fire, so they put acid on my jacket, and I smoked for hours. And he was so fucking happy about almost getting his ears melted off, you know?
I don't know. Some of the lines during this exposition. Oh, no, this can't be true. They can't make things like that yet. No, not yet. Not for about 40 years. What? Like, you can't say that.
Even her face was like, huh. Yeah, they're turning. The gears are moving. All right.
My kid got super excited whenever Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
Yes, he was in this.
It's Easter.
My kid got super excited whenever the Terminator started scanning Tyrese. And he goes, oh man, can he see his HP level and his experience points? And I started fucking dying.
Absolutely. It's like his favorite brunch. Like whatever piece of information Skynet fucking needs to take him down.
Yeah.
So
I know you're allergic to peanuts.
He just tosses a thing of GIF at him.
I love it. Now,
So
in the car chase, something I thought was really good was, this is classic movie, by the way. He's looking at her, giving this exposition dump, but his hand is on the wheel, and it is wildly jerking 90 degrees left to 90 degrees right so fast that there's no way that, it was just amusing.
It's definitely on the back of a flatbed, and he's just fucking acting up with his acting or whatever. Because like
he looks like he's trying to turn around a school bus or something.
He's just trying to really get his point across that like she is the future of humanity. He's like, you don't understand. John beat everybody. You know, he's just trying his best. He's so exasperated and scarred up from the future. I don't know.
So Arnold's chasing him in a cop car, and they don't know that he now has a cop car. So Kyle is reluctant to fire on a police officer because he's a good guy. And then Terminator immediately starts opening fire, and he goes, get down, and takes her head and runs it directly into his crotch, and then hard stares at the camera.
Won't be the last time.
That was his plan all along, and Arnold was just his wingman.
Yeah.
So he's gaslighting her for Roadhead.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because, like, think about it. Was he really trying to pause because he saw a cop and not the 6'4", eyebrowless Austrian looking unhinged motherfucker? It's like, that seems all right. You know?
Oh, shit.
So the result of this is Kyle and Sarah Connor end up, like, I don't know, hitting a wall or something. They're fine. I don't remember.
No, the Terminator smashed into the wall because he wasn't paying attention.
That's right.
Yeah,
and then he just, like, scurries away.
For the longest time, I didn't realize why he did that, because I'm like, this is basically an invincible robot. So, like, why didn't he just, like, get out and just, like, absolutely wipe the floor with, everybody? And then I realized, like, oh, he was fucking maimed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
He was damaged. His right hand wasn't functioning right, and his left eye was destroyed. He took diagnostic of his systems and went, nope, I don't function here. I'm best to try again later.
Did he have to run defrag?
Probably.
Oof. Yeah, you see him, like, doing surgery on himself here. Like, you can see, like, his little, like, what do you call it? Like, the things running through his arm. Like, we would call it bones, but he doesn't have bones because he's a robot.
Metal bones, robones.
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 Like, I do enjoy the scene where he's, like, cutting open his arm, trying to fix whatever, even though, like, he didn't fix anything. He just cut himself open just to see how he worked. He was curious.
No, it's his hand. As he's moving his finger, you can see that it's binding and catching. So he has to take his finger, reach inside, and kind of like fix the little snag so it functions right. So I guess his grip for his right hand wouldn't work properly. And then he just scalpels out his own fucking eyeball, which is pretty epic.
Like, okay, I have seen a bunch of stuff on the internet where they absolutely poop on this scene, where like it's like a model Arnold head with a fake eye, but man, I commend James Cameron, Stan Winston, the whole lot for doing this effect on such a shoestring budget. I think it's used appropriately.
Okay, so again, My kid, his first time seeing it. He goes, "That's a practical effect, right?" And I went, "Yeah." He goes, "I mean, it doesn't look the best, but it's still really cool." And I went, "Yes,
Yeah,
yes."
absolutely.
I have no strong opinions about this.
Like, he looks a little anemic and probably needed some rouge, but all right, it's a pass.
To its credit, I will give something to its credit. To its credit, it looks pretty close to what Mortal Kombat did with Kano, and that was like 11 years later.
Okay. Now, after he's doing his self repair, our boy Kyle Reese and our good lady Sarah Connor have been arrested by the cops, and they're like, Kyle is crazy and that she has Stockholm syndrome.
To be fair, he sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where he like starts pretty benign. He's just like, I'm just a soldier from the future, man. Just leave me alone. I'm okay. You don't understand. You're all fucked. You're fucked. You're bold and fucked.
He's pointing around the room and he's like, Lance Henderson, you're fucked, and you're fucked, and you're fucked. He points at Sarah and goes, "You're cool."
So the guy that I was talking about earlier that I mentioned that was just like, I don't even know what I said about him, but I just appreciated his character in this and wanted more of him, is actually the criminal psychologist guy.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I
yeah.
figured. Yeah, absolutely.
He's just got this personality about him that makes me want to watch. Like, you've got Homeboy in there just talking, just spilling his guts about everything that's going on in the future, why he's there and everything. The psychologist is out there just listening and is just like, huh, this is fucking great.
Yeah, he's just he's so matter of fact, because Lance Henderson was like, well, is he crazy? And he plays like a 2-second clip of Kyle Reese just going like, and he's just like, maybe.
So let me get this straight. You came from the future, and so did this other guy. He came to kill Sarah Connor because his son was going to go up and lead the resistance against these machines. Some kind of retroactive abortion.
He's just like copying all this shit down so he can write this book. And at the end, he's just like, fuck you, Tom Clancy.
There's a good little bit here because Arnold now has his sunglasses, and the cops are luring Sarah Connor into a sense of security. They're like, hey, take a nap. There's 30 cops here. Nothing bad could happen. And boy, oh boy, are they fucking wrong. And are they wrong in the best fucking way? Because Arnold Schwarzenegger shows up and drops the line.
He does.
Yeah, there's 30 cops in this building, and he fucking kills them all.
Oh, you just can't skip and just be like, also, he's a murderer.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to skip that, but I just want to set the expectations. He's gonna come in and he's gonna kill them all.
Well, let me start at the top. First of all, yes, they lulled her into a false sense of security because the guy at the desk is a moron. A dude walks in asking about the person they had to put in witness protection or something like that. He goes, I heard Siakana was here. Where's Siakana? And he's just like, Sarah's doing something. You can't see her, nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be like, I don't know nothing. Have a seat. That's bureaucracy.
Yeah, go sit on the couch. We'll be with you in 20 minutes. Sarah's busy right now. She's being questioned. Just have a seat right there and we'll be with you in 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, you know what that sounds like? It's like, she's busy. Goddamn, what a bummer.
Yes. I don't want to kill her. I just want to carve a little T on her forehead.
You're terminated. Get it?
So, again, my kid hasn't seen this. And he watches as the Terminator is standing at the front desk. He looks to his right, like leans back, looks inside the police office to try to get a rough visual of how many people are here.
Yep.
He then scans the front desk entire area because it's walled off, and he goes, is he looking to see like the structure of it? And I went, yes. And he goes outside after dropping the line, I'll be back, and gets a fucking car and runs it through 2 walls, and all fucking hell breaks loose.
That is the classic line. What was it again? You said it.
No lollygagging.
No lollygagging. That's the classic line.
And then he double checks to see if the lobby's big enough for a Cadillac. Perfect. Next scene.
Maybe not a Cadillac. Maybe I'll go with the Lincoln. I can't do his accent, guys. Wow.
It sounds great. I love it.
I dig it. But you're absolutely right. Like, all these cops are just eviscerated. Like, this is why I always thought it was a little bit of a slasher movie, because fucking Arnold cleans house. And all these cops are like opportunists. They're like, fuck yeah, let's break out the M16s and everything. Let's fucking get this bloke. And then Arnold comes in and just like makes them all extinct. Just the hell with them.
So in the
And-
middle of all this, Kyle Reese gets back to Sarah Connor and is like, hey, once again, come with me if you want to live. And they just like
Yeah.
scurry out of there into their own little, another cop car? Is that what it is?
The last time we saw Mr. Reese, he was in just some like crazy people clothes being interrogated. Did you notice that when he found Sarah Connor, he already had his clothes and things, meaning he went for his shit first before he went anywhere near Sarah Connor.
All right. If you've ever played any video game where they take your gear, number one, we know it's in a box right outside the cell, and you
Yep.
have to get your shit before you
Okay.
continue the story. He just hit equip all. It was fine.
He just walks out of his cell, looks to his left, and there's like a spinning box in the corner of the room. Yeah.
Yeah, you literally just have to thumb the stick up, just the L1 up, and then hit triangle, and it'll just automatically.
And this is a cool bit right here because everybody's popping out, like you said, with these guns. And my son goes, "Oh, they're missing." I went, No. They're fucking shredding him.
Yeah.
He's just a robot, man. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
And he
absolutely.
turns around and puts 2 barrels in Lance Henriksen. And I was pained.
Yeah, he takes out like the commissioner or whatever too, just like not even thinking, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, to that point, like I never really thought of like Arnold being a bullet sponge at this moment, but like as he's tearing the lighting conduit out of the wall and stuff, he's just like jerking around because he's just getting pelted
Yes.
by all this lead. He's just like, whatever, come on, I'm pumping iron. You can't hurt me with your iron.
Ah.
You're shooting
So-
lead. I am steel.
So while this is all going on, the 2 good guys, I guess, get out of there, and they eventually get so far away that they run out of gas, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want to hide in the woods for whatever reason. I guess it's the safest place.
They had traveled so long, the news had gotten out about the police massacre at the
Mm.
station.
Mhm.
It was like over the radio, just like, this just in, 30 policemen just hours away from retirement shot dead in Los Angeles.
Yes. Now, we get a Dracula reference where Kyle Reese expresses that he's crossed oceans of time to be with her.
I don't
And-
know. Sounds kind of gay to me.
He's a romantic.
I guess so. He just seemed kind of anemic and weird. Like at first, I was like, okay, he knows what he's doing, but like under that bridge, he just turns straight emo. I'm just like, what is
That-
this?
Fellas, is it gay to cross the space-time continuum just to smash your girl?
Well, when it's your buddy's
I mean-
mom, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tinder by Skynet sends you back in time.
Oh man, maybe Kyle Reese was like the ultimate Xbox kid. It's like, I'm gonna fuck your mom, and like in the future, he was finally
Oh.
capable of, and just went back and did it. The whole future
Oh.
horse shit's just BS.
What a Chad. That's a giga Chad.
Future Chad.
Yeah.
Oh, so things escalate now, and they get a hotel room where she again gives out all of her information to the Terminator to come and get her.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, our good friend Kyle Reese is pulling a Burt Gummer and mixing a few household chemicals in the proper proportions.
Yeah, I mean that was back in the day when you could just like look like the Unabomber and stroll into the local general store and pick up what you needed.
Yeah,
For
this
real.
guy definitely owns at least a few sheets printed out of the Anarchist Cookbook.
At least the pipe bomb page.
Yeah, he goes out, he gets mothballs, he gets ammonia, he gets bleach. I don't know what else you need because this isn't one of those channels, but
Oh yes.
he gets all of it.
I kind of wish when he had all of the ingredients strewn out on the table, it was just like, you know, aluminum piping, Karo syrup, a Pez dispenser. Wait a minute.
That one's for me.
Yes. Now, at this point, he starts to give his sob story. John gave me a picture of you, and I wanked to it for years. I love you. And that's all it takes to get into Sarah Connor's britches.
That and like really, really stale homeless pants.
Oh, just crusted semen.
Oh, some of it's mine, some of it's his. You'll never know.
Someone came from those cops that chased him earlier. They just all in on it.
Fucking Terminator looks, he's like, you've been cross-contaminated. Now, the thing about this whole sex scene is I'm sitting there watching it going, okay, number one, they're eating each other's faces. And number two, That's the fucking Terminator theme, slowly playing romantic style on the piano.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a mood setter. You know, like the missus knows what's up when the Terminator theme starts creeping across the house all sexily.
That's not the only thing creeping across the house all sexually, am I right?
Baby, you know what's up. Bum, 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 bum. So now the Terminator shows up. He's just a little bit late because a dog warned him, and dogs. Now we get another chase scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger ending up getting run over by a fucking big rig while Kyle Reese is throwing pipe bombs at him. This scene is fucking nuts.
Yeah, like after Kyle Reese wastes like 12 dozen pipe bombs at a fucking moving motorcycle, Sarah Connor's just like, what if I just smashed him into this wall? And he's just like, haha, lol, I'm dead, I think.
Yeah, he's like, I've been hit.
Yeah, this is really where we get this is sort of like the denouement of the movie, right? This is where it really gets to a head.
Yeah, and just like you said, Brady, like he gets run over by a fucking semi truck and he brushes it off pretty well. I'm pretty impressed.
And then Kyle Reese sticks a fucking potato in the muffler, blows up the entire gasoline truck, and Sarah Connor runs away from an explosion. Good on her, by the way. Very good action. And we see the Terminator basically melting from fire.
You get that little scene of comfort where it's like, oh, Jason Voorhees was burnt to a crisp by that rocket. Yep. Ah, geez, we're so safe now.
And then his arm comes out of the water.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Exactly. Quispy the robot rises, and he is Terminator endoskeleton in all of its glory. And bravo, sirs. Watching the musculature that they built into the underwiring of this skeleton is fucking nuts.
It's just iconic. I used that word earlier, but this in particular, holy shit. The T-101 skeleton in front of the fire is just phenomenal. It's not even like an effect per se. It's just like, the endoskeleton fire, and you get the zoom in the eyes doing the aperture thing, but fuck, that is insane.
So it looks pretty cool when it's standing still.
Listen, leave Mr. Ray Harryhausen alone.
Who the fuck is that?
Leave T-800 from the waist up and or down alone. You never get the full thing. It's always waist up or waist down.
Listen, when the Terminator is traveling at exactly 24.5 frames per second, there is absolutely nothing wrong. Guys, I don't know what you're talking about.
But there's a reason why he's gimpy now, and he chases him into this, factory, like the Child's Play 2 warehouse.
It's some cannery, I think, for lack of a better term.
And they start turning on all these gizmos and gadgets, and the Terminator chases him in there.
He's turning on Gizmo? Didn't we already have a Gremlins reference? That's a little dirty.
You got to keep them coming. I'm talking about the Gremlins.
Oh, Dick Miller from Gremlins. I was like, look at him. That's one big fucking Gremlin from the future.
I knew he was in the robot. After they kill it, it's just Gizmo in the skull.
Yeah, and the Terminator just snubs him with a shotgun again. Wrong.
What this is telling me is we need Phoebe Cates in the Terminator universe.
Oh, shit. So Kyle goes home run derby with this lead pipe that he found on the Terminator's face. It doesn't give a shit, but it's enough of a distraction to slip a pipe bomb into its skeleton. Kyle Reese gets basically beat to death, thrown down some stairs. The skeleton blows into two, and again we go, shoo, thank goodness.
You know what I call that?
What's that?
Reese's Pieces.
But
yeah, before we get to the Terminator, the T1, whatever this thing is, I don't know. Before we get to him crawling on the ground, can we just pump the brakes a little bit and talk about the stop motion animation on this fella? Because it's not good.
Now I know exactly where to dub in excellent. Okay, come on, all right, it's not the best, but when Kyle and the Terminator are swinging at each other, I think it's more than serviceable.
What was it, last week or the week before? I don't even remember. Time is an illusion. We were talking about Mothman and how bad he looked when he was on screen and his movement. Okay, I realized that was 2002, but you can't say just in a blank slate, that looks bad and this looks serviceable. This looks so much worse than the Mothman.
Well, the Terminator Endoskeleton was not played by Chris Angel, so it's probably pretty good.
It gets points just because Chris Angel was not involved.
This looks like something that you would see on Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh man.
Oh,
Fucking Marilyn Manson.
okay.
Really good one.
Judge. Oh, I'll allow it.
Yeah, that's what I get from the movement, the jerky, like mechanical movement of this T1. What is this thing? I don't know what to call it. It's not Arnie anymore.
They change it.
101.
Yeah, they change it, but a T Model 101.
T Model 1-on-1. Oh yeah. Well, it looks bad.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, you know what? Like you said, Reese finds his tickle spot, puts a pipe bomb in, blows him shit back.
And he's crawling to get her. And I remember playing Contra 3 Alien Wars. And you fight these two android guys, and you blow them in half. And it's exactly the same thing. You got to beat them enough to where they're just crawling around as half robot men. And then you got to fight them there. And then basically a ripoff of the T-101 rips into the room, and you battle it again. It's fucking cool. And I love that childhood memory is served right here, and I get to see it as this thing crawls after her, reaching to kill her. It's done. He's gonna get her, and she pushes the little button, and you're terminated.
Ooh. I think, look, it's pretty good. It works. You know, it's like it's in the realm of like, get away from her, you bitch. But she was referring to herself. I don't know.
I wish she would have had a really good one-liner. That would have been solid. But I will say this: the special effect, whether they used an actual steel skeleton to crush or aluminum, whatever. Mm. I like to watch things be smashed. I don't know why. Those people that like to listen to the fucking people cutting things all super microphoned up.
Yeah, it's like ASMR.
I like to watch things get smashed.
You know what? I know exactly the part you like. It's that elbow joint that gets compressed. And
yes, and it's compressing and flattening and expanding out. I went, that's fucking cool. It immediately drew my eye into it. Like as soon as it happened, I stopped paying attention to the head and looked right at that and went, yes.
Yeah, when it gets crushed, it stops looking all herky-jerky and things, and it just looks like it just looks like, a metal skeleton being stuck in a hydraulic press, which is what it is, and that looks cool. As a guy, that looks cool.
Well, you're okay. Like, the stationary prop is great, because, like, after it's all smashed, said and done, you just have, like, the arm sticking out of what's left at Sarah or whatever. Yes. And the missus was like, why didn't she just take it as a souvenir? I was like, oh, that sounds great. Let's have a memento of the most traumatic fucking thing to ever happen to me on the mantle for the rest of my life. Look, kiddies, that's my fucking paranoia.
Instead, you have to give birth to it.
Oh, truth. To me, the child isn't a reminder of the bad thing. It's a reminder that something good can come from even the worst of moments.
You mean the 4.5 minutes he spent inside of her?
It was a hard 6. It was a hard 6. He's a romantic. There were 2 minutes of it just sitting in there.
just soaking like a Mormon.
Just soaking.
Just brining. Just pickling.
Put it in a cucumber, came out a whole ass dill.
Oh, shit.
Well, it was enough to save the world, so I don't know.
Yeah. If he got it done in 4 minutes, and it saves the world. So 4 minutes of pure world-saving goodness.
It's enough to send Sarah Connor to Mexico because she could never return to the United States pregnant with a Jeep getting hustled by this little Mexican kid for a Polaroid that makes sense, I guess, canonically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that Polaroid showed up in the past, but never mind.
Time travel, right?
Yeah, time travel's a bitch.
Dude, the kid's got a good hustle. He just takes her pictures like, that'll be $5, baby. You want fries with that? And she's like, maybe. I'm eating for 2.
Come on, Pookie, let's burn this mother down.
Man, $5 though in rural Mexico in 1984.
Yeah, he got $100 for that picture.
Wow.
You could get a Nintendo for that.
That kid gets a Nintendo, and Sarah Connor drives into an oil painting. The end.
Yeah, I wrote down drives into some fake ass mountains.
She drives off into another movie.
The set of Cliffhanger.
Oh, God. That storm's real, you can tell, because Burma.
Because Burma.
What are you doing over there? I don't know. Glow's blue.
Glows blue. It's just random words. It just makes no sense. I think it's a good movie, and man, it sets up a sequel, much like some of these other films that we covered, that is fucking incredible. It also sets up a universe for a character that I fucking love. Like, the Terminator movies get bad, they do, and I still just love to see Arnold there being Arnold. What are you doing? I'm dropping one-liners and being goofy. Don't you love me, America? Yes, we do, Arnold. Make another one. We're gonna watch it.
I'm on the same page for the most part. Like, I really like this movie. I love this movie. Terminator is just fantastic. It totally deserves its place in the film registry of America. It has aged. Like, it has some patina, goodness. Like, the herky-jerky movements later on in the movie, I really want to be on its team, but I'm just like, man. Thanks, Ed209. I'm just like, ah. Otherwise, age effects aside, this is a recommendation. It's fantastic. It's like a sci-fi slasher. Like, how many of those are around and are good? Give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't really want to sound like I'm shitting on it too much. This was a good movie. Just objectively, this is a good movie. But you're exactly right. There are certain parts that have aged really poorly as far as like practical effects, especially when you go back to like the 2029 part of this. But I look more forward to watching the sequel than what I actually liked of the first one. I think it's building up to a universe that I'll enjoy, but the first one's got some kinks to work out.
Well, there you have it. That was The Terminator from 1984, the year of our Lord. If you have any strong feelings about the show or the movie, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Hit that little bell icon so you know what we got brewing up next.
Get out there and follow us on social media. We got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and you can find us literally anywhere podcasts can be found. We're fucking Mr. Worldwide. Woo woo! And if you don't give us a chance, you'll be terminated.
When you said woo woo, you sound like a choo choo train.